Hello everyone, my name is Kenton Kavescu. I'm an ex-Googler, an ex-BCG consultant, and the founder of Rocketblocks, an online platform that helps candidates prepare for interviews. In today's Rocketblocks mini lesson, we're going to be doing another chat with a Rocketblocks expert, Jesse Lau, who is a former VP from the consulting group EY-Parthenon, and then went on to hold multiple VP titles at the health tech startup Real Self. This interview, which we also filmed during the coronavirus madness, will be done over Zoom for obvious reasons. And in it, we will cover Jesse's perspective on the consulting interviews, sort of the unique flavor of interviews that you might face at EY-Parthenon, and what it's actually like to be a consultant and a consultant leader on the job at EY-Parthenon. So let's go ahead and jump in. Tell me a little bit from the perspective. So when you were at EY-Parthenon and you were actually on the other side of the table now, you're interviewing candidates, what were some red flags for you? Like if a candidate did X or Y, where did an immediate sort of like light go off in your brain that's like, oh, okay, maybe this is, not going to work?
Yeah. So I found that when people would do a specific sort of prep for interviews that was ostensibly like what you're told to do by Rocketblocks or by your peers or whatever,
yeah,
but is wrong, right? So for instance, you need to be organized and have a framework for how you're going to solve a problem. A lot of people would draw something that appeared to be a framework and then list a bunch of ideas that were not organized in any sort of thoughtful way, right?
It looks like a framework, but it's a jumble.
But it's really just some words with arrows pointed to them. and when folks started off that way, I knew it was going to be difficult for us to stay on point with the conversation, because my job as an interviewer was in many cases to do what that other guy did for me, which was to lead me through the conversation.
Yep.
I know more than you. This is my job to know more than you and to guide you through. And if you don't sort of lay out a preliminary roadmap for me to kind of take a look at and guide you through it, then I don't know what to do, and I struggle to guide you. So for me, that was a big one. Different companies had different perspectives on the importance of the accuracy of mental math. And I would postulate that 100% of the time that I messed up a mental math problem, I did not get another interview. And I messed up math problems all the time. I never cared about that very much.
Yeah.
Because once I got to work, I realized we were allowed to use computers.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So for you, I think it sounds like the big thing is if someone has sort of been told they need a structure, but doesn't truly understand how to structure a problem. So they just draw something that looks like a structure, but doesn't adhere to the rules of like a structured group of thoughts. That was a big okay, this is not really going to work well.
Yeah, and I actually, I made that mistake myself too in some ways, because I remember early on somebody saying don't just do the same thing that everybody else does. Like, don't just do the framework that's revenue and the profit is revenue and cost or whatever. Yeah. And so I'd get to, somebody would give me a problem that was ostensibly a profit and loss statement problem, and I'd come up with some nonsense that wasn't, revenue. And so, I think it's important to be individual and unique, but also these things are frameworks for a reason. It's because they work. And so I wouldn't say to necessarily get to a point where you feel like you have to be so creative that you're not leveraging the existence of basics.
Great. I hope you enjoyed that excerpt from my conversation with Jesse Lau. If you've got questions or specific topics you'd love to see us cover in future videos with Rocketblocks experts, please go ahead and leave a comment down in the section below, and we will consider that for future videos. So thank you so much for watching. We have a ton of great content coming out in both the consulting and the product management career paths on a weekly basis. So if you haven't subscribed yet already, please do so below. There is a big red button down there. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.